Competency in professional psychology and reflection. Defined as the capacity to do something confidently and efficiently. Competency relates to learning new and maintaining rigorous ongoing knowledge and skills, as well as having necessary reflexivity and reasoning ability. In the Australian Psychological Society Code of Ethics, this falls under the general principle of Propriety B, and entails the correct informing of clients and employers about what services can you provide. These said services need to have defined boundaries within training, education, supervision, and professional experience, and needs to be built upon the established knowledge of that discipline. The code reiterates that psychologists must adhere to itself, the Code of Ethics, and the various guidelines, as well as abiding
by state and federal law.
Practitioners must ensure that they are mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy or stable to guarantee that individual's own state doesn't impair on services. Tips to maintain competency includes receiving the appropriate training in undergoing courses, continually updating skill level, not trusting in one's own judgment, but remaining critical of your own thought processes, reasoning level, heuristics, and biases. Also developing a support network with other professionals can help to increase propriety. In retrospect, competence is a necessary element in any profession, since lacking this would imply that individuals are unable to fulfill these necessary duties, thus also failing ethically in one's obligation to maintaining a degree of professionalism. Lacking competence could be exacerbated by recklessness, little understanding
of the relevant literature, or
having little research about the said issues, could lead to erroneous diagnoses and treatment of disorders, which would obviously produce adverse consequences, being catastrophic for the patient. Special populations are groups that psychologists must be sensitive of when relating, diagnosing, and treating them, since they are susceptible to negative factors which impair on their mental health. For instance, women and girls, Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders, and gender-diverse clients, the elderly, youth, and people from the rural communities are examples of special populations, in which psychologists need to be mindful of specific competencies. Some people are just at more risk than others. There are practice guidelines which dictate what psychologists should do in treatments, such as what one should do in adverse therapies, using internet and telephones, or working with multiple clients. Professionals need to be aware of attaining the relevant competencies, seeking necessary supervision in areas that they are not as competent in, and be able to juggle various limitations such as time, nature, extent, expectations by clients and organizations, and possible effects with whatever decisions or solutions or treatments the psychologist decides to use. It is fundamental for psychologists to be able to work flexibly in various interest fields, addressing multiple problems, recognizing their needs of various stakeholders, special populations, and how mental, emotional, biological, or cultural factors can influence clients, and psychologists should understand the dynamics of the patient-client relationship. I think this is quite complex and nuanced and would require a great deal of time, energy, and effort to balance and juggle, developing the necessary skills, knowledge, and ways of relating, diagnosing, treating, etc. This would probably be a pursuit of mine that would last a lifetime. I guess such is the challenge of helping the most complex life form with the most complex social organization in the universe. Cranney et al. 2010 identified 6 attributes that were necessary to develop competency and also help to improve employment prospects. These included having understanding of psychology, using research methods, engaging in critical thinking, embodying the values of psychology, having the communication skills, and being able to apply psychology in social, personal, and organizational settings. I think this is quite an intuitive, if not insightful layer of the relevant competencies, knowledge, and skills that psychologists need to be able to use in order to have appropriate propriety and thus fulfilling that ethical obligation. Therefore, we looked at defining competency, what competency is in the APS Code of Ethics, engaging with special populations and maintaining knowledge of the practice, and also we looked at the 6 attributes in psychology which falls under competency training. Hope this was useful. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.